Hello, Warren residents. I am your Treasurer Lorie Barnwell, and welcome to our first episode of Money Talks. So I'm very excited to go on this journey with you as far as finding out your true financial self and helping you along the way with some of your financial goals. So a little about my background. I went to school at U of M Flint and graduated there with a bachelor's degree. And right after college, I started at City Financial as a loan officer and helping residents achieve their dreams of buying a home, buying a car, and all of those types of things. From there, I became a senior loan officer, working with residents and employees about best credit practices. After that, I started in the management training program at Chase Bank in 2008. I started out as a personal banker, was an assistant manager, and then finished my career as a branch manager. After that, in 2015, I had the great honor of being elected your treasurer and have been your treasurer since 2015. Through all of those jobs and even just basic life experiences, I have been able to see so many of the great things that can come out of healthy financial practices, but also some of the pitfalls. So I really want to spend today talking about how do we find out our true financial selves. Each of us, even if we don't consider ourselves finance people, we all have a financial identity. And that financial identity affects whether or not we achieve our financial goals. And from those goals, whether that's buying a home, whether that's retiring with dignity, whether that's going on a 14-day cruise around Europe, whether that's helping your kids with college, whatever your financial goals are, first we have to discover our true financial identity. So when we talk about that, there are some different things that we have to do. The first thing is we have to be real with ourselves. We have to be real with ourselves as our financial selves. And that is not easy. It is not easy to look at ourselves in the mirror and discover ways that might have to be improved. But to be real and honest with ourselves is to also look at what are our shortcomings, what are our vices when it comes to finances. And if we don't look at that, it's never going to improve. Our finances offer a key and a window into what we value most. And the way we can kind of see that is, first of all, really looking at our bank statements. So what I encourage everyone to do as they get started, print out your bank statements. Now, if you don't have a bank, maybe you have a prepaid card or some other form that you use to do your spending. However that looks, print out 6 months of statements and really go through it. So here's what I always recommend. Get maybe 5 or 6 different color highlighters. And what you're going to do is really break apart those bank statements. So for instance, one highlighter you can use is for bills. Bills are basic things you need to survive. So your mortgage, your rent, water, gas, different things that you really need to live in this world, right? The other thing, and I'll explain why this needs its own category, food. So obviously we do need food to survive, but I'm gonna tell you why it needs to be a separate category in a minute. Fun, so leisure activities would be another color highlight. What are we saving? So we'll circle back to that too, but that needs to be another highlighted color. Our kids, maybe like beauty products, different things like that. So depending on who you are, you might have categories that I didn't even say. But if you split things down into categories, that way you kind of see where you're spending your money. So analyze these statements. What stands out to you? Okay, so here's why I put food in a separate category. I know for me, I spend too much money going out to eat. I think a lot of us are in that camp. And spend probably too much on food delivery services such as DoorDash and things like that. So really breaking that down can be very jarring. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I spend $30 a week on Starbucks, or I can't believe I spend X amount of money on food delivery when I could just go pick it up. So, and that's not to say that we want to take away your Starbucks or take away some of those conveniences and, going out with friends or family to eat. But what we are saying is that, are we spending too much? Is based on the bank statements and the money that you are bringing in, are you spending more than you should? And I'm just going to raise my hand right now and say, I do. And so I try to eat healthy, I try to eat at home, and I try to cook. And we all have this feeling, oh my gosh, I've had such a long day, and I had to help my older son with his homework. I'm just going to order a pizza, or I'm just going to DoorDash XYZ. And that is so easy for us to do. But what happens is those things become habits. And when they become habits, we spend more and more and more money on them. Instead of it being, okay, I haven't done this in a few weeks, I could really use a pizza day. That is different than regularly spending on that particular category. So there's other things that you could look at too. So another big one I know for a lot of people is the streaming services. There's Hulu, there's Apple Plus TV, there's all these things that, I like this show, so I have to get this, or I like this show, so I have to get this. And I recently looked at how much I spend on cable, on internet, streaming services, and it is an absorbent amount of money in comparison to what I deem appropriate for my budget. And I think that's what you really have to look at. Sometimes it's not how much, but it's how much in comparison to the rest of your budget. And what is a percentage of what you're spending. And so maybe we need to cut back on some of those streaming services. Maybe we need to narrow them down. But like I said, when you go through with that highlighter, when you go through and pinpoint what you're spending on, that's really where that discovery comes in, because you see how many things are highlighted and you're like, oh my gosh, that's where my money's going. And like I said, going back to the food thing, we as not just us as individuals, but us as a culture, really spends a lot of money on food. And I know even when you go to the grocery store, food is more expensive, but finding ways that we can still have a good time and utilize some of the great restaurants that we have, while also using balance, using wisdom. So I think that, like I said, those things are super important. And to get where you want to go financially, you have to make sacrifices. And that means eating out less. That means cutting back on entertainment. That means maybe not getting that new outfit that you wanted, that new video game that you wanted, painting your nails at home sometimes, having friends come over to your house and bringing a dish to pass and a bottle of wine instead of always going out to the bar. That does not mean you never can go out. I am not saying that. But it means, again, having that balance in life so you can make those financial goals a reality. But it's more than that. So it's more than just cutting back, going out. It's more than just cutting back on some of these cable bills. But it also gives us deeper lessons of what are our vices. What you're spending money on may not be draining your bank account, but it could be draining you as a person. Addiction, depression, using online shopping or alcohol to hide your pain. So like I said, these go down to the very crux of who we are as people. And really looking inside, not just looking at our bank account, which is very important, but looking inside at ourselves. Okay, look at all the money that I'm spending in XYZ category. A lot of times where we spend our money is also where we spend our time. So as an example, if we are spending all this money on streaming services, are we spending too much time watching TV instead of out doing things, out taking a walk, out maybe spending time with friends? Are we, again, spending money in a way that's not just helping us get to where we want to go, but also help us get to where we want to go as people? Are we spending too much money on unhealthy food instead of getting healthy meals, going to the gym, exercising, going on a nice walk, is getting nicer out? So again, these financial principles are not just about money, but about go to the core of who we are as people and our growth as an individual. So as you're listening to this, I don't want you to just go through your bank statement. I want you to think about how this goes to who I am as a person. So once we kind of analyze that, then we are ready to kind of tackle what are our financial goals. So we have to think about who we are as a financial person. What are our vices? Where can we cut back? Where should we cut back, not just financially, but as a person? So then we can look at what our goals are. What do you want your life to be? It can't be just to do something, but actually what you are passionate about. It will keep you motivated. For instance, well, I probably should buy a house. Well, that might not be the best reason or motivation to do something. You should be happy and feel that that is the best financial move for you and the best move for you as a person and or your family. So I think that those things obligation will always lead to burnout. So if you feel obligated to a financial goal, eventually that's probably going to burn out. And a labor of love will always be a higher level of success. So if you're doing something for either love for yourself, this is something that I'm passionate about and I'm excited about, or I love my kids and I want to make sure that they have what they need for college, or go on this big family vacation. It would make them so happy. Labors of love are oftentimes the ones that we succeed in doing. So again, the motivation is really important. So when we kind of narrow down what the goal is, we also need that motivation behind it. Another thing that's really key in any kind of financial goal is surround yourself with people who are going to keep you financially accountable. So I kind of went back to us always going out to eat and doing these things that might kind of drain money a little more quickly. So people that say, well, oh man, I really wanted to go out to this new restaurant or this new bar tonight, but they know that you have these financial goals that you're working towards. You want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are excited for you and are rooting for your efforts. And it's hard to be responsible when you're around people that aren't. And I don't know if you've ever seen like the chair metaphor, but it's really hard to pull people up and it's very easy to be brought down. So if you are surrounding yourself with people who are not following good financial principles, it's going to be much easier for them to bring you down than for you to be pulled up. Or for them to be pulled up, I should say. So surrounding yourself with good people is imperative when you're working towards important financial goals. So, okay, so you've looked into who you are, got real with yourself. What are my vices that may not only be draining my bank account, but me as a person? Okay, so we did that. What are your financial goals? What do you want most when it comes to finances? And then what's your motivation? And then who's going to help keep you accountable? So the last layer of this is, what tools do you have to achieve your goals? What does your bank offer to help you with budgeting? What does the city or county offer in way of classes? What grants or loans can you apply for if starting a business? What are first-time home buyers eligible for? Who helps you with your retirement plan? So, and those tools, that's where I'm going to try to help. We're going to have a series of episodes where we talk about budgeting, where we're talking about buying a home, where we talk about building your credit, starting a business, how to save, how to invest. And on those episodes, we're going to talk about those tools that can be at your disposal to help you achieve those. But like I said, first, you got to do the work too. So again, I would really encourage you to print out those bank statements, dig in, see where you're vulnerable, see ways that you can cut back, and look at yourself, look at your vices. Like I said, for me, Starbucks, DoorDash, those things that I really need to cut back, not only financially, but for my own health as well as I continue my own health journey here. But we have to really, again, do that work. And that is not fun. No one wants to look at themselves and analyze and be critical. But to reach your financial goals, which we're going to be talking about in these next episodes, you have to start the work first. And I am so excited and happy for residents who really want to jump in. You know, these goals, whether it's buying a home or saving or starting a business, these things can be life-changing. These are things that you work your whole life. You're building your whole life in order to achieve. And I want to make sure if there's anything I can do on my end, I want to give you any tools or advice to help you build that success. And that's why Money Talks, that our show, that is what it's called. Because money talks, money is important and can really be the avenue to get to where you want to go in life. Anything that is valuable in life, it's hard work. It's going to take time. It's going to take discipline. But if we can kind of wrangle these things and become our true financial self and reach our potential, then these things are not out of our reach and can really change our lives. I think about my husband he went to college to be a pastor. He's a great pastor. But later in his life, he went back to law school and started his own business. And I watched him really build this business, and he had to make these wise financial choices in building that business. And he had to put in so much hard work, so much discipline. And now because of that, he's doing very well. But I think that residents, you can do it. It's so in your reach. It's just finding those principles in order to do it. So again, I am so excited for us to be on this journey together. I know that we're all going to grow and learn from it. Like I said, even preparing for this one today, I kind of felt the conviction of really, I need to look at myself too. And I am really excited to continue to watch you grow, but also grow with you. Again, thank you so much. This is Money Talks with your treasurer, Lorie Barnwell. Thank you.